Hello, welcome back to Graceful Embroidery. Today I'm going to talk to you about my new collection. Quiet! Today I'm going to talk to you about my new collection, the Cassandra's Whitework collection. Now this was a long time in the making, and the development of the 5 sets in this collection took a lot longer than I anticipated. But I'm going to talk to you about some of the designs that I've stitched out from this collection today. Every collection always starts with the elements, which usually are found in the first set, which is for 4x4 or very small hoops anyway. There is now a 4.2 square hoop, which I have used for some of my collections. But these designs here are for the 4x4 hoop, and you can see a collection of them. And I just want you to, these are the elements of the whole collection. You've got this very detailed scrolly flower thing. I can't think of a nice word for it. That's probably the heaviest element in the collection. And then we also have this large flower, and that can be stitched out in 2 colours. Here the designs have been stitched out in an ecru and an ivory, and they just make the designs pop a little bit. These are the basic sprigs of tiny leaves. They vary slightly throughout the design of the collection, and you do have these little you have tiny blossoms, which are here, that come in like bullion roses, come in 2 sizes, and then the large one. And if you look very carefully, this tiny petal here goes around the outline of that one there. And another element of the collection are these very narrow scallops, and they are actually done in 2 colours, and then you get this bar through the centre with French knots and eyelets, and those bars are often grouped in 3 staggered, and there is also this grouping of leaves, which is not perhaps so dominant in the collection. I always like any heirloom design a collection needs buttonholes. There are no buttonholes on this stitch out, but I'll show you some in one of the larger ones. But next to buttonholes, every heirloom needs hearts. This is a simple heart made with the leaves and the scalloped edgings. They are not technically edgings, they're too narrow, you can't use them to create an actual edge on your designs, but you can put them near the edge and give that effect. But this is my favourite heart. It's actually based on some silk fabric I saw a long time ago. Begins with fail. I'm not quite sure how you pronounce it, but it's like a textured striped fabric, and I thought that was lovely. And as you can see, there are those tiny little petals again going around the top right hand side of the heart. And then we have this branch, which is the end of this design here, which is a very open design, which is great for asymmetrical designs that mix, that join and combine larger designs, and I've used that throughout the collection. So these are the elements which are found in Cassandra's Whitework 1, and there are 36 designs. These are only a selection of them, and the buttonholes are also in that set, I believe. Now, I do like to add variety and choices, options, and in this particular sample here, which is a design from Cassandra's Whiteworks 2, you can see we've got the centre sort of daisy flower, and it's been done in 2 colours. You've done a light putty here which picks up this gorgeous silk, and then you've got the ivory on top, and the tiny little centres of the bullion rows are almost like pearls. And one of the options you could do, instead of stitching those out, you could replace them with hot fix pearls, which do come in very tiny sizes. And I just wanted to show you that these designs do not have to be done as white work. They can be given any colour combination, and one of the members made a beautiful cushion on turquoise fabric with gold and white threads, and you'll find that on the website, and it's absolutely beautiful. Now this design here is from the third set, which is Cassandra's Whitework 3, which is for large hoops that are 240 millimetre by 150 millimetre, and as you can see I put those hearts there on here, and I did this stitch out in a beautiful ecru and cream, and they've turned out remarkably well. I'm really pleased with that. And notice how that these have been used, these scrolly edges with the bars create lovely edgings to the collection. And this again proves that it doesn't all have to be done in white. I don't think actually I have stitched out any of the designs in this collection just in one colour thread. Even if you do white and cream, or a soft white and a bright white, it just makes the designs pop. This one is being a little bit, I've just pressed it, it's a tiny bit puckery, this one. It's but actually the light's coming through the window and it's emphasising every tiny little crease in it. Anyway, that's one of my favourite designs from the third set of designs, and I'm trying to think how many there are. I think it's 22 in that one. Now when I was doing these stitch outs, I suddenly remembered how successfully I was able to embroider out designs from Bundle of Joy, and they successfully stitched out on tulle. So I thought, well, I must, before I release these, I must test them out. And this is a lovely border design from the third set, and as you can see we've got the bars going across here, which just gives a very delicate edge, and we've got this is an endless design. You can put it against itself and create a beautiful edging, and look how successful that has stitched out. Absolutely glorious. And I'm going to show you the back. I just used ordinary bobbin thread. It's very important that you trim everything nicely, but that stitched out perfectly. I was really pleased with that. And for the stabilisation of that design, I just used one layer of Floriani Wet and Gone, which is my favourite wash away stabiliser, and this is a very delicate sparkly tulle. That worked out perfectly. I wouldn't say that every design in the collection is suitable for stitching out on sheer fabrics. I probably wouldn't do the buttonholes that way, but this gives you a lot more scope. You can create your own lace which will match your embroidery on any heirloom project. And some of the little narrow ones, I mean, just can you imagine just those in a row on lace? Absolutely beautiful. So lots of possibilities there. Now we come to the fourth set in Cassandra's Whiteworks, and this is for the 12 by 8 hoop. And for this stitch out, I decided to go Wedgework blue. I have been looking everywhere for some beautiful Wedgwood blue silk, and I've not been able to find it. It's not been cold enough. I found pale blues that have got a yellowy look to them, but they have not quite what I'm looking for. I'm looking for this beautiful colour. So I compromised and I thought, well, I can't do a Wedgwood blue one, so I will actually put the Wedgwood blue on the ivory silk dupion. And as you can see, this is on the larger designs. That's the wrong way up. On the larger designs, you can see how these little scallops, I've moved them around to create beautiful edging, and I was really pleased with this. It's not white that I've used here, it is in fact a very pale grey thread that I've used for the contrast, and I'm really pleased with that. It's just absolutely gorgeous the way it's stitched out. This is yet another design from the 4th set in the collection, and for this I have used, I think it's an ecru, could be 1149 or anyway, a very delicate cream and ivory, and this is a beautiful edging design is what I call this. And there's one very similar with which has got the centre of this is exactly the same, but instead of the sprays going up at the side, they come down. So there's two very similar like designs in the 4th collection. But these, a collection of these around the bottom of a veil or a bridal train, probably a bit too large for a christening gown. But even if the designs are too large for your project, study the large designs in the collection and see how I've used them. As you can see, I've used the very delicate, the 3-leaved with the long single stem there, and that is a lovely one for joining the designs together. And these will actually sit, that one will sit nicely to the side of itself. So and it's the shape, what I'm trying to, it's hard sometimes to put these things into words. The shape of your embroidery is very important, as are the gaps that your embroidery creates. So do remember that in your planning. This is a design from the 5th set. Now the designs in the 5th set require a very large hoop, a 360 by 200. And as you can see here, this is a beautiful panel, but it's got the scroll work at the bottom and at the top, which finishes it off nicely. You can also see these little panels that are used throughout the collection. They're like tiny, oh dear, the word won't come. Tiny little panels each side, and they are mirror imaged. And some of the larger versions of these actually have buttonholes in them. Now this is a very delicate pink, and hopefully when I can make the pink show up a little bit better than it is on the screen at the moment. But that is one of the designs from the final set of Cassandra's White Work 5. I promised to show you the buttonholes, and here you can see them in all their glory. They all come in pairs, so the lovely thing about them is that you can cut them. And as you can see here, I've threaded a lovely satin ribbon through them. They don't have to be cut, they are beautiful in themselves. You could also put lace through, or you could make some tiny little strips of fabric for a coordinating colour if you can't find the exact ribbon that you require. But anyway, this is a border design from the final set. Whoops, going the wrong way. And it will, you can put as many of these alongside each other as you like, but that is just beautiful, isn't it? And I believe that that's been stitched out in sulky rayon ecru and along with cream, and I hope you like that. So as you can see, this is a very versatile set, and I encourage you to take a look at it. All the designs, all 5, are available until the 10th of April at a special discounted price. So do go to Graceful Embroidery and log in and take a look at these beautiful designs. I hope you love them, and I hope they inspire you to make something extra special. They stitch out quite quickly, and I've tried to give you an idea of what you can do with them. The scope is enormous. They don't have to be used for heirloom embroidery. Thank you for listening to me waffling on about my designs. I hope I've been able to give you a little taste here of what's available. And if you've got any questions, then do contact me. Remember, when you buy my designs, you get a very detailed PDF that comes with the designs, which is packed full of information. But one word of caution before I go: please check the sizes of the designs. There's a PDF on each product page for the sets and tells you their exact measurements, and I like people to be absolutely sure that they have the hoops to stitch them out. So thank you for watching, and until next time, happy embroidering.